Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and today we're looking at a companion piece puzzle. So this is by Walking Writer, and it follows a puzzle we did last year by the same author, which was called Starburst. And look, I'll let you see the two grids. This is this one, and that's the last one. So it's thermos heading into the middle or heading away from the middle, which is quite amusing. I like the idea, but in fact, I was just looking up that last one, and I noted that it was similar to a different puzzle that had used arrows all going into the center. But anyway, so puzzles resemble each other is what I'm saying. This one, if you just want to get on with it, it's XV, Little Killer, and Thermo Sudoku. But I will explain those rules in detail in a moment. Firstly, I do want to mention the kids pack that is on Patreon at the moment by the PBN Institute, Panthera, and the Asylum. Brilliant, relatively approachable Japanese sums puzzles. Try them with your kids is what we say, and let us know how they get on. There's no prize for it, but there is a prize for the Jewels of Osiris. Still a bit of time before the 20th to enter that. Do give it a try. Demono put a lot of work into it and a lot of writing, and it's worth it for you guys. So check that out. That's all on Patreon. Also, of course, on the channel, the normal 2 videos a day. We do try and keep it going, solving one puzzle a day and each, and letting you know what we're thinking as we go along. Now, there's also, of course, our apps and our merchandise, the catalogue, the Discord server. Check the Sven Sudoku Pad. Check out the links under the video. The first one of which is to Implosion by Walking Writer. And the rules are these. Normal Sudoku rules will apply. So we're putting 1 to 9 in every row, column, and 3 by 3 box. Cells joined by an X sum to 10. Cells joined by a V sum to 5. Digits increase along thermometers from the bulb. And a clue outside the grid gives the sum of the indicated diagonal. So those 5 cells will add up to 20, for instance. Now, there's no mention of any negative constraints or possible repeats, so there's no rules about those. Give it a try if you fancy. On the link under the video, the length of the video might show a relative grading or not. The last one of these, though, we headlined it under the title, A Puzzle You Can Try Yourself. It really wasn't too bad in terms of difficulty. So I'm hopeful about this one too, but it could be a very different puzzle. But enough waffle. I am going to give it a try now. Let's get cracking and see how we go. So all of these thermo tips in the central box. For once, I'm not pencil marking thermos as the first thing I do. Simon has named that Goodliffing after me. What I'm going to do is consider where 1 goes in the central box, and it cannot be in a 2 cell or longer thermo unless it's on the tip. So that is a 1. And 2 in this box. None of these are candidates to have a 2 in because they're all at least the 3rd cell on a thermo. So 2 must be in one of those 2 with a 1 on the bulb of that thermo. And we've got these 4 V cells, which must all be low here. By low, I mean 1, 2, 3, or 4, because if these cells add up to 5, the component parts all have to be below 5. Now, that means one of these is a 1-4 pair, and the other is a 2-3 pair, since they're both in the same box. But we've got a 1 in one of those cells. I don't know which one, but it means that neither of these will be a 1. So one of these is a 1, going with a 4. And then in the other blue cells that I've coloured, we've got 2 and 3. And then I can start pencil marking this thermo, surely. Because 1, 2, 3, and 4 are gone in this box. So this is going to have to be 5 or 6, then 6 or 7, 7 or 8. Now, the restrictions are off in this box, but we're already up to 7 or 8, so that must be 8 or 9. So then the thing to do is to stop looking at this box for a bit and look at row 5 and ask ourselves the question of where are the other low digits? Where's 2? Well, it's not on that thermo. 1 is there. It's got to be the smallest number on this thermo. Where's 3? That's next. Where's 4? That's next. Then we use the X and we're racing along. We get a 6 there, and we can finish off this thermo, and we're 2 minutes in and we've done row 5 completely. 875. This is a 6-9 pair to complete the box. This X can't be 6-4 or 1-9, so it's either 2-8 or 3-7. Oh, and this X, there aren't that many X's and V's, but they're incredibly helpful. This X can't have a 2, 3 or a 4 on it. Well, every X has to have one number under 5 and one number over 5. So the number under 5 is a 1 here, and that means it's a 1-9 pair. And now we know which one of these is a 1, because we've got a 1-9 pair looking at that cell. So this is the 2-3 pair, this is the 4-1. Again, we're remembering there's a 1 in one of those bulbs. In fact, we're now going to find out which one, because that 2-3 pair is looking straight at this cell, which can't be a 2 anymore. And therefore, there is a 2 here, and its bulb is a 1. And we're flying. 2, 3, we've got a 1-9 pair. If this puzzle doesn't slow down, it might turn out to be too easy for this to use on the channel, I would say, but let's not count any chickens. Now, there's a 3 in one of these cells, yes, and it's not in this one. Can you see why? I have a little question. If that was a 3, this thermo would have to start with a 1 here, and it can't because of that 1. So we get the 3 there, and we can fill in the whole of that diagonal thermo. Now, the remaining cells in box 5 are 4, 5, 7, and 8. This one can't be a 4 because, again, you'd have to track back to a 1 on the bulb, and this 1 is preventing that. The highest numbers on these two vertical thermos in column 5 are 8. So where's 9 in the column? It's got to be there, out the top. This pair, it doesn't use 1 or 2, so it's either 3, 7 or 4, 6. And there's one way round, 3, 7 can't go because of this. These cells are 5, 6, 7 or 8. This one can't be a 6. So there is a 6 in those, and that can't be a 6, which I knew already. But that also can't be a 4. Oh, so 4 is in one of these two. Can it be here? It would need a 3 in this cell and a 2 in that one. Can it be here with a 2 or a 3 in this cell? It can. Oh, I've forgotten the little killers. I mean, we're only 5 minutes in. I'm not going to kick myself over that yet. But we have a 20 clue here, and we've got 4 of the digits done already. So 9 plus 1 is 10. 16, we need a 4 to get to 20. And this one, we have 13. We need 7 more in those two cells. So this isn't 7 or 8. It's 5 or 6, and that's 1 or 2, but there's a cell telling us which it is. So those two thermos, again, very straightforward. We can take 5s out of a bunch of cells. What else has that done for us? Not much else. Right, what about the long? You see, 21 is a very low number. The absolute minimum you can have on a long diagonal is 18, and that's if you had 1, 2, 3 in each box for the 3 digits on this diagonal, because they're the minima, obviously. This one can't be the minimum 2. So that's already using, okay, so 1, 2, 3 in each of these would give 18. So there's 3 degrees of freedom that we can use up. But here, this already isn't 1, 2, 3. This is at least 1, 3, 4. So we're already using 2 of the degrees of freedom. Now this can be a 5. Actually, it can't be a 4, can it? This can't be 2, 3, or 4. That is a 5, and that uses up the last degree of freedom on this long diagonal. It's now fully minimal. 3, 1, 2. Oh, 3 in the corner. Little party there. Excellent. 3, 1, 2 there. 3, 1, 5 here. I think this has to be 1, 2, 3 again. 1 and a 2, 3 pair. Let me just do the maths. 6 plus 6 is 12, plus 9 there is 21. Yes. This other diagonal is a bigger number. I mean, sorry, that's fatuously obvious thing to say, a bit of a knowledge bomb there. But It might matter. I don't know, actually. I mean, obviously 18 is the absolute minimum, and 1 degree of freedom gets used there. But this time we have 12 degrees of freedom. I think it might have some effect on this thermo, but we'll probably get back to that. I've just spotted a pair of 2s there looking at these cells. So that's not a 2-8 pair, that's a 3-7 pair. There's a 2 in one of those, so these can't be a 2. And we can put 2 in that corner. 2 in the central column. In fact, 2 and 4 can't be on this thermo, so they must be on this one. The 2 must be at the bottom. The 4 I'm less sure about, but it does form an X-wing with a 4 there, because the 4 in column 5 must be in rows 7 or 8. The 4 in column 9 must be in the same rows. That's going to use the 2 4s for rows 7 and 8, and therefore there's no 4 in these cells, and I can pencil one into those 2. 1, 8, 4 and a 2, 3 pair. Everything else in the column is 5, 6, 7 or 9. We can't have a 7 there. Can't have a 9 in that one. These are less constrained. That thermo's doing nothing. One of these must be an 8 in this column, so that's not an 8. It's also not a 5 by sudoku. In fact, this is where 4 goes, isn't it? I've only just realised, since we knocked 4 as a possibility out of that cell, it's definitely here. And then this must be a 2, and that's a 3. And that's going to sort out our 2, 3 pairs on the right. And we're flying again. 3 in the central, in the bottom row. That's not central. That's not a 5. Now, 7, 1, 8, 2, 9. We've got a 4 down here. We've got a 3 can't be in those cells, so it's up there on the bulb. Then we've got 5 and 6 to place. Well, 4 has to come before those, so I'm left with a 5, 6 pair in the column. That 4 looks across here and sorts out the 4 X-wing. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4, 9. There's a 1 in one of those cells. This is just sudoku now. Oh, 3 is looking at this pair, so that's a 4, 6 pair. And that fixes the 5 and 6 in the central column. 4, 6, 2, 5, 1, 3. This is 8 or 9. That's 7 or 8. Oh no, there's a 9 in this box, so that's a 7, 8 pair, and that is 9. And now we've got a 5, 6 pair up here, so at the bottom of the same column, a 7, 9 pair. I can fill in 5 and 6, and 8 and 4, and column 8 is suddenly finished. 6, there's a 6. Yeah, this is 1 and 6 at the top. That fixes the 5, 6 pair. This is now a 7, 8 pair. Oh, look at this diagonal. I've got 8 of the digits on it. So all I have to do is add them up. 10 from 1, 2, 3, 4. Another 10 at the top end. That's 20. That thermo makes 23. This is a 7 in the corner. That's a surprisingly big digit. Places the 4. 9 and 7. 5, 8 are a pair in the bottom row. That 7 is fixing this box, where I've just noticed I can do the 1 and 9, and I think that's been available for ages. 6 and 4 here. I'm going to be done with this puzzle in only just over 10 minutes, which is, well, it's very approachable, isn't it? I mean, that's what we want sometimes. We want puzzles that we can get in, get through and enjoy. This pursuit is about having fun, not about stretching yourself every single day. That's what I say. And Simon may disagree with me. Right, we've got a 7 and a 1 here. In they go. 1 and 9. And there we go. That's not too bad at all. That is a very approachable puzzle. And 11 minutes 40 tells the story. Yeah, Walking Writer is one of the more generous. I've just remembered. Yes. Walking Writer sent us this artwork that he did himself. It's pretty good, I think. Now, I might get this wrong, but I think he said that's from the Adirondacks, where he does a lot of the walking and writing that make up his name. And I apologise if I've got the range wrong or if that isn't from there, but I like it. This puzzle itself is a nice piece of artwork, something you can enjoy for a short while, and I did. That's really good. So look how many of the bulbs are 2s though, all of the ones round here. You'd expect a lot of those bulbs to end up being 1s, and they weren't. In fact, a 5 on that bulb was a surprise. Anyway, there we go. That is today's puzzle. We will be back with more tomorrow. Thank you, as always, for following us on the channel. Do subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope to see you soon. Bye for now.